Hi everybody, I'm the Reluctant Reviewer, and I'm here with a small kind of little collector spotlight, but I just acquired them, so it's a really quick collector spotlight. There was somebody on Facebook, and they wanted to give some of their dolls that they had a new home for free, just for coming out and not having to ship them. And every now and then I see those. You see those posts all over, and I'll put in there, oh, you know, I wouldn't mind. This person actually chose me, so it was really nice. And they were close by, and their grandmother was a dealer with Madame Alexander. So the gifts they used to get when they were young, her and her sister, were Madame Alexander's, and she used to keep these up in a shelf and put them out every now and then, and some other Alexanders, and they've been in a closet lately, so she thought they needed a new home where they could be shown some love. So this is the Little Women series. These are all bent knee Alexanders, so they're around 1962. I think the 8-inch ones for Little Women might have started around 1955, I'm not quite sure, and it always seemed like every year they would come up and do another line of Little Women. I mean, they did that with the hard plastic, and then they did this with the tiny guys too. So these are the March Sisters, the Little Women people. They are so adorable. That was one of my favorite books when I was growing up. I would reread it and reread it and reread it. You wanted to be part of the March family. We have Joe, the protagonist. We have Lori, the boy next door. We have Marmee, Mom. And we have Meg, who's oldest. And then we have Amy. And then we have Beth, who are so cute. I love all the different colors. I love all the layers of clothing, the pantaloons, the slips, everything that, you know, just makes them look like such pretty little girls from the old days. People wouldn't wear all these clothes anymore, but they look absolutely enchanting on them. I've OxyCleaned all their dresses except for the two dark ones and Lori's stuff. I did the pantaloons, I did the slips. I didn't do her dress though, Meg's. I did these guys because I knew they were light colors and they were going to come out really clean. And they came out really white because the aprons were more yellowing on that yellow side, like a vintage wedding gown kind of side, but now they are bright white, and they're all made with different fabric. Like this is the really crisp fabric, and this is the very soft cottony fabric. I'm not quite sure about Joe's outfit, if that goes with a 62, because I've seen a set of them all dressed like this, but with Joe in a different outfit, so I'm not quite sure. But every year they come out with a new Little Women set, and then they'll change the clothing for it, which is really cool. So you could have a whole collection of Little Women. So I always wanted to have something in the Little Women line, but if I have one Joe, which is somewhere else, she's not in this room, and it was supposed to be my husband was going to get me one each year on our anniversary. Well, he didn't remember that part and thought, I did? I said that? I go, yes. And I've gotten one, and that's it. So I do have a Joe, but these other ones are adorable, and they're the bendable knee ones, which is really cute because you can put their knee up in the back. You can stand it up in the back. All of them needed restringing, so I gave all the girls restringing. And I didn't use rubber band, I just used elastic, and this one is... This cord is, I can't see what size it is. Oh, 2mm elastic cord. So I used these to string them instead of rubber bands because I wanted to work on them and I didn't want to order rubber bands. And sometimes those rubber bands, they just don't have a life, you know. They last very little in time. So I did them all with cord. I did their hands. Everybody's all together again. These little girls came with doll stands already, which are really cute, and they say Madame Alexander on them. Now, I do have a question for those people that do collect Madame Alexander. Okay, what's the difference? I know what a bent knee walker is. It means the head moves when the legs move. But these are bent knee. How do I know if it's a walker? What is different on the inside? because I'm not quite sure, because I looked at my booklet, the one booklet I have that has any kind of things. It has pictures of Alexanderkins. It doesn't tell me anything. That was the one thing that I used to always feel sad about, was every time a price guide came out for Madame Alexander, it would only be words, or it would just be black and white tiny pictures. And I always thought, well, how can I see the doll? Or, you know, it's just text and showing you prices, which those prices Madame Alexander would be very sad at now, because they are so down. But there was never a nice full color Madame Alexander book. So if you know know of one that there's a lot of color pictures in, let me know, because I'm always on the look for a doll guide book. I'm also not very good at telling faces. I have trouble with the different types of Sasha faces there are. People can see the differences and I can't see them at all. So to me, a Wendy face and a Maggie face, I don't always see the difference in them. So hopefully, I'm thinking these are Wendy's. And I think it's interesting that Madame Alexander, of all her 8 inches, when they were the Alexanderkins, the only ones to keep the Alexanderkin name on their tag are the Little Women series. So I'm not quite sure why. But the one thing I think about that's always so beautiful about a Madame Alexander doll is the hair. You have to have one that you like the hair in, because they're such pretty styles, and the early ones with all the sewn in tabs and stuff. I mean, it's just beautiful on there that this could stay like this from the 1960s and still look good. So, so that was my find for June. Just a small, short, little brief showing of them, and I will come and do another video and show you another set. But they're really fun, and someday, if I can find a cowboy or a cowgirl, that'll be the next thing I'd like to find. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.